the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The setting is right here in Duval at the bank. 1 o'clock. Sunday, a rivalry that dates back years and years and years. They will meet for the 46th time. Unfortunately, the good guys have been on the other side of it as of late. Houston has won 5 in a row right here in Jacksonville. Overall, they've won 11 of the last 13. The series 30-15 lifetime. Houston over Jacksonville, but there's been a little bit of Jaguars money and some line movement over the last couple of days, and that included this afternoon when Trevor Lawrence met with the media. The feeling is he's going to be able to give it a go. It was a good session for him on Monday. An increased workload was expected today, and it becomes a pain tolerance situation for his non-throwing shoulder, but a little bit of money poured in. This line opened up at around 5, maybe 5 and a hook. I'm seeing consistent 4s, a few 4.5s. The total remains 43.5 points. So there you go. And Trevor's kind of the sidebar here. It's more on C.J. Stroud. It's like, what happened, right? 2 interceptions last week, 5 picks in his last 3 games, supposed to be the second coming. All of a sudden, I'm starting to read things and hear whispers about low IQ, about not having the football mentality and the smarts that you need from a quarterback. We know he's kind of a jackass, right? That was obvious a year ago when he made those comments about Fred Taylor. And I don't want to single out C.J. Stroud. That is generational Z. They have no respect for the Fred Taylors. They have no respect for those who built this game for them and provided them an unbelievable opportunity to make incredible amounts of money. It's not only on C.J. Stroud. It's on just about everyone. They just don't care. And I don't know if that'll ever change. It's shocking to me, not surprising, shocking to me. Because I can just, obviously someone who never played the game, but I can just think of my heroes, thinking of growing up and listening to my dad and listening to my granddads and listening to my uncles and whatever, talking about whether it was Ted Williams or Jim Brown or, my dad in the Army watching Muhammad Ali be able to spar, all right, things like that, watching Satchel Paige pitch, and that just doesn't matter anymore to today's kids. It is what it is. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, especially on the eve of Thanksgiving, but all of a sudden the vouchers are out on C.J. Stroud, and they're kind of like, what's up? You rolled in here a year ago like there was just no way that you could make a mistake, better than anything that we have ever seen in this league. And last year, you look at his numbers, they were absolutely spectacular. And obviously, he led them to a very good season. Let me see if I can find them. Maybe I deleted it yesterday. But anyway, yeah, here we go. Last year, C.J. Stroud, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks. Had an average of 8.2 per attempt. 8.2. Okay? Had a quarterback rating of 100.8, which is, nearly record-setting. I want to say there's only 2 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL who have a quarterback rating lifetime of over 100. And I believe that's Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. I may be incorrect. I know Russell Wilson is close to 100. But anyway, to be ranked that throughout your career, and the sample size is not much here, it was only 1 season for C.J. Stroud. This year, he has regressed. 14 touchdowns, 9 picks. His average per attempt down to 7.3. And his quarterback rating, 87.3. The last 4 games, it's been under 80. So it just feels like there's a real opportunity here in Jacksonville, no matter which way you look at it. First of all, how about a little bit of self-pride? You've lost 5 straight to Houston here. I know that they turn and they change and they come and they go, and Doug Peterson's told us about cleaning it up. But how about a little bit of self-pride? How about not allow Houston to walk in here and win a ball game in your backyard for a 6th consecutive year? That should be it. For me, that should be the only bulletin board material that is needed. Do we have any leaders? Do we have any dogs? Do we have anyone who's upset about the fact that this is supposed to be now your biggest rival in the NFL? And you're going to walk in there and win for a 6th consecutive year. I think that's all you need. Second part of all of this is Houston has been exposed a little bit as of late, particularly defensively. They've dealt with a tremendous amount of injuries, all right? I think this football team, if they put together a decent game plan, should be able to have some success running the football. Now, they are a terror off the edge. They have arguably, right there with Jacksonville, the best tandem of edge rushers in the NFL. When you look at the acquisition they made of Danielle Hunter, who's got 10.5 sacks, and in his second year, Will Anderson Jr. is an absolute stud, 9.5 sacks. Obviously, here in Jacksonville, you feel very good about Trayvon Walker. Excuse me, you feel very good about Josh Hines-Allen. The problem that Jacksonville has is the interior defensive line. The problem that Jacksonville has is that whole rotation and the fact that there really are not any backup edge rushers to speak of. And that includes Yasir Abdullah, who was one of really the only one who didn't work today for the Jaguars. They are getting healthier. Granted, they have put some players on the IR, as you are aware of. But for those who are available to go, it looks like it's going to be a pretty promising Sunday. I'll get there momentarily. Another part of this, and I think I'll ask John Osher about it coming up in 1 hour, is all of a sudden Walker Little, he's played well in his last 2 opportunities, okay? He hasn't a lot of pressure in 2 straight games, and there's been 60 drop-back pass opportunities. You can make what you want out of that. What I'm asking you is more of the eye test, okay? Let's get away from the analytics. Let's get away from everything that is measured mathematically. What is the eye test? What has it told you since Cam was moved, Walker Little was implemented, and with 6 games remaining, whether it's Trent Baalke or the incoming general manager, all of a sudden that becomes arguably now, in my opinion, arguably the biggest move they make this offseason. Do you re-sign Walker Little? Can you get him for a little bit less? If I was Walker Little, I'd get my ass out of here. This organization has screwed him over since day one. I mean, they have just treated him wrongly. There's no other way to say it. Okay? There's no other way to say it than that. They have done this kid wrong. They gave him an opportunity a couple of years ago to win the right tackle position. He got beat out by Juwan Taylor. All right? They tried him at guard. I mean, you go back to a year ago when Cam Robinson was, who knows what he was putting into his body, and he got popped for 4 games. Walker Little played very well. He was their best offensive line. But Cam came back. You know, it was like Michael Jordan's returning. You know, oh, my God, Cam Robinson is back. Oh, we got to play him at left tackle. Let's move Walker Little inside to left guard. And he got hurt after, 11 plays. He's not a guard. If I was Walker Little, I'd say see ya. Yeah, I'd get out of here because I'd be so upset with management and the coaching staff and the way they treated him. But I don't know what he's thinking. He's kind of a low-key guy. He may love it here. And he may say, you know what, Cam's now gone. This is my job. They're going to pay me. I'm going to be your future left tackle. Let's see what the contract offer is. A lot of people think it's going to be Anton Harrison, who moves after 2 years of the right tackle. He's your left tackle, or that's something that they address this year, either in the draft or free agency. To me, once again, it's all going to be about the offensive line. That is the one thing that has to be fixed more than anything else. These mock drafts drive me insane. Go get a corner. Go get an interior. No! Fix your offensive line. Here we are again. It's the same old, same old. If you rewound the tape from a year ago or 2 years ago, you'd hear me complaining about the same thing. Fix your offensive line. You could have two backs with a good offensive line. You got a tight end. You got two tight ends with an offensive line. You had receivers. Two are down. One's a bust. Gabe never should have been here. Can you imagine what Gabe Davis is going to eat tomorrow on Thanksgiving? I've been thinking about that all week. There's a man right there who will not get cheated. When he gets off the IR, I think he's going to be more than a tight end. I think Gabe Davis has an opportunity to maybe be a pass rush edge in his future, the way that he's been eating and packing on the pounds. But you got a stud in Brian Thomas Jr., okay? Do you need another wide receiver? Absolutely. But the most important thing for this football team is the offensive line. Maybe you just don't think Walker Little's it. If so, that is fine. But I'd like you to express your opinion with that question at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And, the good news here, he's got 6 more games. If he can stay healthy, I think that allows you enough time to develop an honest opinion on whether or not he is the future blindside tackle for Trevor Lawrence. He has to be one of your best players. This team has to have a dominant left tackle. And I think Walker Little would leave and be a starter somewhere in this league. I really do believe that. But to me, again, it's going to be a very, very interesting conversation about him and everything else that does transpire at the end of the year. But to me, that's going to be the head of the list as to what they do with him and what they do with left tackle. Okay. The Jaguars, this is just fascinating to me. It really is. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the fact that they are available and they talk to you, the Jaguar fans, all the time. I mean, Peterson's available 4 days a week. Trevor Lawrence talks to us today, talks to us after the game. I think the public relations staff does a real good job making players and coaches available so we can get information to you so you can understand what is going on, whether it's good or bad with this football team. It is also scary when you consider the lack of communication and the lack of being on the same page. Hence the truth teller. One of the reasons why I don't lie is because when you don't lie, you never have to worry about, did you tell the truth? Think about that. Maybe you go out, you tip a few too many, you're talking to some lady, maybe you tell her you're an astronaut, I don't know. Then you wake up the next day and everything went good and you're actually a plumber. How do you explain that if you lie? Doug Peterson the other day told us that surgery hasn't even been on the table for Trevor Lawrence. Hasn't even been discussed. Well, here it is a few days later, and it became the major talking point on this Wednesday. Let's play number 8 first. Here's Trevor Lawrence earlier this afternoon talking about surgery.
It's been a pretty difficult thing to gauge, honestly, of what's the best path forward. Definitely something that I'm considering and not off the table at all. So, it's something that we're going to have to just truly day by day, week by week, hopefully I'm able to get back out there this week or as soon as possible. And then it's going to be just every week kind of evaluating it, seeing where it's at. And obviously up until this point, I've been doing everything I can to avoid that and want to be back out there with my guys and finish the season. So that's my goal. And that's what I want to do. And then beyond that, I wish I had a better answer for you, but I just don't right now.
So he's not on the same page with Doug Peterson. And I know Doug Peterson said it prior to, and you can always make the case that things have changed since. I don't know how. It's not like Trevor's been out there taking live bullets. It's not like Trevor's been out there taking hits. It perfectly defines the Jaguars over the last 1.5 years. Just a team in total disarray. A team that can't even keep the simplest of stories connected. Instead, it's one way or it's something as simple as this. Okay? A $55 million a year quarterback. Do you need surgery? Yes or no? And we get, it hasn't even been discussed from the head coach to, oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm considering it. From the quarterback. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, this feels so political. This feels like this should be in the District of Columbia. Okay? This feels like this should be in the Capitol building in Tallahassee. Not at the Miller Electric Center. I mean, they can't even keep a simple story in-house together. Something as important as we're not talking about a guy who rolled an ankle and whether or not he can give it a go or not. We're talking about your $55 million a year quarterback. And there's this damage as far as the lack of communication. I mean, there you have it. Let's go back to Trevor. Here's his initial response today when asked about whether or not he'll give it a go on Sunday.
You know, I'm feeling better. It's been obviously what, 3 weeks? Something. I have to lose track of time. A little over 3 weeks. So it's good for me to be able to rest and try to heal up as much as possible. So, you know, I've definitely made some progress. So I'm feeling better. Been able to do a little bit more. It's taken longer than I wanted it to. You know, obviously I want to be out there and I want to be playing, and it's honestly, it just sucks watching and being there in the game, being on the sideline, not even dressed out, and you know, the last two games. So that's, you know, been tough. But so I'm hoping I'm back out there this week. It'd be great. That's what I want. You know, I want to be back on the field playing with my teammates, and that's the plan.
3 weeks for Jaguar fans this year has felt like 3 years, and you still have 6 weeks remaining. But there you have it. So that is the very latest. Is he going to play? Yeah, I think he is. I do. I think he's going to play. Is he going to have surgery? Yeah, I kind of think he's going to. I do. And it's so simple for me to just sit here and say it. To me, I'd shut him down and have surgery this week. I would. And I said that 2 weeks ago. But we know that's not the Jaguars' way, right? We know the Jaguars are going to what? They're going to Jaguar in this situation. They're going to milk it. They're going to play him. I hope he doesn't go down again. We will not find out. Here's my prediction. We will not find out until mid-January. It could have been mid-November. We will not find out until mid-January that Trevor Lawrence is going to have surgery, which means the entire offseason is shut down, which means we'll be heading into training camp asking whoever the head coach is, can you give us an update on Trevor Lawrence? And we're going to get the canned, oh, he's coming along nicely. You know, we hope he's ready by the start of training camp. We hope he's ready by the middle part of training camp. Will he play in any of these preseason? I mean, isn't that a classic Jaguar way to handle this? Again, you have no leadership. You have no one in the organization that can look at this and say, let's do it the right way. You're 2-9. You're the laughingstock of the NFL. Right now, you would draft first. Shut them down. Bulldozer the thing. Bring in some new personnel. Bring in some new talent, including an offensive line, and get him ready for 2025. But that is not what this football team is going to do. Instead, they're going to put him out there to try to win a game against Houston coming up Sunday at 1 o'clock. All right, your thoughts on that? Bring it to us on this eve. I mean, wouldn't you expect anything less? I mean, can you imagine having a perfect dinner tomorrow over Thanksgiving saying, so Trevor's going to have surgery. Yeah, let's get it done now. Yeah, he'll be ready by OTAs. I mean, we all know it. It's going to be like a mid-January day. We're going to be sitting around here talking about like a Villanova St. John's basketball game. You know, it's like, oh my God, this is what it's all about. This is January, and this is just, and then all of a sudden we're going to get, Trevor Lawrence to have surgery. And instead of getting ahead of it, getting 60 days, getting 2 months of rehabilitation and treatment, it's the Jaguars' way. All right, opening comments brought to you each and every night by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. People are really taking advantage of financially when it comes to cataract surgery. And the number one reason why? We have no idea what it is. When you go and you see your eye doctor and he says, you got an issue, you got a cataract problem, and you're going to need surgery, you're then going to have a lot of questions, right? Too often, your doctor will say, let me stop you right there. I need to see another patient. I want to send you down the hall. I want you to talk to a surgery counselor, and he or she's going to take you through the entire process. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Aren't you performing the surgery? I'd like to ask you those questions. And no, I need to see another patient. You go talk to the surgery counselor. Man, that is not the case at Shmunez Vision. Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, they are going to answer every single one of your questions, and then they are going to perform the surgery. It's one of the many reasons why Shmunez Vision separates themselves from everyone else and why they're number one in Duval. Check them out. Go to Shmunez Vision online. You can also go to Instagram at Shmunez Vision, get all of the testimonials from those who have been big fans of them for quite some time. All right, when we come back, we give you the rest health-wise for this Jaguars football team. We'll bring in J.J. LaSelva. We'll talk more about the game Sunday at 1. We'll also relive the college football rankings, playoff style. Came out a night ago. We know the top 4 teams did not change, but there has been some movement after the top 4. We'll get into that as we take it through a Wednesday edition of Into the Night.
Get the coach's perspective.
Constant improvement, every day, every week.
Doug Peterson joins the Frangie Show Fridays at 4:05.
This group is eager to win.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, when we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected, beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electric electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
When you want to be heard, send your opinion to the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Thank you for believing in me when the bosses didn't give me a chance.
641-1010. No texting and driving. Get your thoughts heard on 1010XL.
I'm living proof that with Rebound Rehab, you can bounce back and get back in the game. Joe C. for Rebound Rehabilitation, and they helped me recover from an ankle injury that had me down and out. Their team of physical therapists ensure you'll get the best treatment you need to recover and regain mobility. From back, shoulder, and neck pain to a nagging knee or arthritis, Rebound Rehab can help form a game plan through therapy and exercise, complete with an app so you can continue to recover at home. Check out reboundrehab.com. 8 convenient locations.
Bolt City AC, heating that rules. Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bolt City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options. Bolt City AC, we got the crew. Bolt City AC. Visit BoltCityAC.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound and Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound and Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Be safe out there. Have a good time. Many of you starting right now, tonight, and then the next 4 days. We have 4 full days of football as well, beginning tomorrow. 3 games in the NFL, a couple of college games, NFL game on Friday, big college game on Friday. Then, of course, Saturday, it's Rivalry Saturday, and then the NFL on Sunday, including right here as Houston visits Jacksonville. JJ LaSalva, when does your vacation begin?
In about 90 minutes. I will be driving to the beautiful Ocala, through the beautiful Ocala National Forest.
Yeah, with this always deer running around.
Absolutely. You got to be pretty careful late at night when you're driving because they definitely run through the middle of the street.
I've taken that route a few times before on the way to Tampa, especially when before Orlando had the new, whatever they call it, tollway or whatever it is, expressway.
I love it, man. One of my favorite drives.
I love country driving.
I love zooming past people on a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Right. With your cell phone in one hand texting?
A drink in the other, of course.
All right, what do you make of, once again, just a complete lack of communication here between your head coach and your quarterback?
I think they've been taking snipes at each other, mostly Peterson. Snipes from the podium for a couple weeks now. I think Peterson probably believes, like, Trevor, you're not that hurt enough to not play. And Trevor's probably thinking, yeah, but why do I want to come back and play for you or this crappy team? So I think it's a little bit of both. I think when Trevor heard Peterson over the last couple weeks say, like, hey, we don't know, we haven't talked about surgery at all, that hasn't come up at all, that's obviously a lie. Like, Trevor made it very clear today, and I believe he made it clear knowing that his coach hasn't been making it clear recently that, yeah, maybe I could still get surgery.
Right.
You know, like, and to think that hasn't been talked about behind the scenes with the head coach of the football team and the quarterback is insane. Like, obviously they have, but if they haven't, then that's even worse. Yeah. Like, then that just means they're just totally not discussing anything. They're not talking to each other. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I know it's an absolute mess. And right now it's clear to me that they both dislike each other.
This is another example of why this organization, as they make changes here once the season does end, needs another higher individual to oversee all this and be able to get to Shad Khan. Okay? I mean, I have no idea what's going on with Shad Khan. I don't even know if Shad Khan is aware of the fact that Trevor Lawrence is out with a bad shoulder because he's so not involved with this football team. But if you had a Tony Baselli or a Fred Taylor or a Paul Posluszny or someone who took over this responsibility, he could call Shad and say, listen, Trevor needs surgery now. You think you think Trent Baalke's going to sign off today on Trevor Lawrence getting surgery? Hell no. He's fighting for his job. Mac Jones can't play. He knows that Trevor Lawrence is his best opportunity to beat Houston and win the remaining games. Doug Peterson's fighting for his job. You think he's going to sign off on Trevor Lawrence having surgery this week? No. He needs to win these games in order to save his job. If you have someone with a glorified title who is the liaison to Baalke, Peterson, and Shad Khan, this decision could be made, and it could be said in a realistic way. You're 2-9. You're the worst-ranked defense in the NFL. Okay? Look at any statistical category. Houston comes in +9 in the turnover to takeaway ratio. Jacksonville's -8. Okay? No matter which way you look at it, Jacksonville gets slaughtered. And when they lose by 6 points or less, which in my mind, when it happens 6 times in a year, is coaching. It's the lack of coaching in game. Right? Again, when you get blown out like you did by Buffalo in Detroit, that is a better team. When you lose consistently by one-possession football games, that comes down to coaching. It comes down to poor execution. So if you had someone there, you could say, let's get him ready. The season's over. All right? Let's get this surgery now. Don't wait until January. You're losing 2 months of his rehabilitation. But this organization doesn't have anyone. The only one who could do it is Tony or Shad Khan, and obviously they haven't said anything. The only time Shad Khan talks is when he's in London. He's got his ship here. He's not going to talk to anyone here. He's not interested in talking to me. He's not interested in talking to anyone in the media to get that information to you. Instead, he's just going to ignore it. And that is a problem. You have a quarterback and a head coach that are on a total separate page right now. And it becomes a laughingstock around the league. I told you the insider I went back with last week. Yeah, it was the shortest text ever. He asked what was going on. We were waiting. Is Peterson going to get fired? And I said, this is such a dysfunctional organization. And his response to me was one word. He said, horrendous. And this is from a national guy who covers all 32 teams. Guy was really connected. They can't get out of their own way. They just can't. I hate it for you. I don't enjoy coming in here complaining about it. I would much rather be sitting here talking to you about a 9-2 team that is headed towards the playoffs, and everything's great, and you're happy. Okay? And look how quick fans can change. This team was 8-3 a year ago at this time. They're 3-14 in their last 17. And look at you. Look at the fans. Look at the Florida State fans. 13-0, then 13-1. Now they're 2-9. They're looking for bridges. Look at Gator fans. I've never seen a collection of fans so happy about a team that's won 6 games. They've turned it around. They beat ranked teams. They beat LSU. They beat Mississippi. The coach they wanted fired. Now he's our guy. He's flipping recruits. You know you're going to murder Florida State on Saturday. You're going to play here in the Gator Bowl. Could end up with 8 wins. I mean, this is like Spurrier making runs towards the national title or Meyer making runs towards the national title. I mean, I'm blown away by it. You watch Gator football, it's the one production. I don't care who has it. They have to show the fans after every play. If you ever notice that about Florida football, I don't care what game you watch, what the situation is. When Florida plays, it's don't give us the highlight of the play. It's show us the Gator fans doing that, whatever that ridiculous, what is it, a crocodile or
the chomp.
Whatever it is. Okay, it's like producer, director, show it.
Dude, you know, I've never thought about that, but that is so on point.
I was saying it to my girlfriend. We have 3 games. I'm like, they have to show the freaking fans every single play.
Whether it's a good play or not. Like, they got to show their heartache or their chomp.
But those fans showed up. The fans in Tallahassee aren't going to show up on Saturday. They didn't show up last week. The fans, are they going to show up here on Sunday? What's it going to be like Sunday? I saw what it was like against Minnesota. I saw what it was like against Grant. I saw what it's like about every. I mean, I'm here for them all. The Gator fans, even though they wanted their coach fired, they still rallied. They took it upon themselves to rally. Florida State's not rallying. Florida State, let me tell you something right now. This has been incredibly painful. It's been just awful. And Jaguar fans, I listen to you every single day on the text line. And I appreciate your words. But you've given up. You have. And I understand why you have. And you just think that, you know, it's a bye and you can kind of get away from it and maybe regroup, right? It's kind of like a vacation week, you know, recharge. And then all of a sudden, you know, you get this. Only things like this happen when you have a poor organization. And it's right at the top. Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke, and you know, Trent doesn't talk during the season. Why would you? Why would you talk to us, Trent? I mean, it's a one-horse town. You know, why would you say something, right? Just, stay in your bunker and, you know, find a way to screw up Travis Hunter. I was just thinking about that as well, JJ. You got to tell me right now, as great as Travis Hunter is, please don't let this organization get Travis Hunter, because whether you think he's a wide receiver or a defensive back, you know that this organization is going to play him in the wrong position.
Safety. Yeah, like they'll realize that he's better as a wide receiver, so they'll only play him at cornerback after that. Yeah, I don't think the Jags are going to be bad enough to finish that low unless Trevor does get surgery. But yeah, I fully expect whoever they take to be an absolute bust.
1035 says Peterson and Norvell sound a lot alike. Peterson's a much better coach. Peterson just put way too much trust in his offensive coordinator. Unless Frank Reich is the missing link, who we don't talk about all that much, who we had in Philadelphia. I mean, Doug Peterson, you can make the case, could save his job by announcing, I've taken over play calling, going out there, drop a number on Houston, take care of this weak schedule at the end of the year, win 6 games in a row, end up 8-9, and say, I made a drastic mistake. I never should have given up the play calling responsibility. There'd be some out there would say, maybe he's the guy. I'm starting to turn on Peterson a little bit because of his lack of communication over things that are so important. Like not being on the same page, injury-wise, with Trevor Lawrence. Mike Norvell is just not a good coach. Okay? There's no other way to say it. I mean, I complained about this guy when he won 19 in a row. He was bad then. I mean, look at all the bullets he dodged. Remember the LSU game? The game's over. They let LSU go 90-something yards in a minute and a half, and you block a PAT. Florida, a couple of years ago, I mean, how much more talented was Florida State than Florida? It took Jordan Travis to play one of the greatest games ever played by a Florida State quarterback. His Houdini-isms escaping that pass rush to somehow win that game in a situation where Florida State was so much more talented. Florida's so much more talented than Florida State this year. You think Florida State would put together an effort like that and keep a game close like Florida did 2 years ago? Going for it on 4th down, and what was it, 4th and 3, 4th and 4 from your own 32 in the second quarter against Notre Dame? And playing McKenzie Milton and not playing prevent defense against Jacksonville. I can give you so many things in game that Mike Norvell is screwed up on. He's not a good coach. And now what's really hurting him is that he's an awful recruiter. He's good with the transfer portal. And that's the only hope you have for next year. You know, there's rumblings now that DJU is going to stay and that he's going to be the quarterback for Florida State in 2020. 2020 don't matter. I mean, they can't rebuild it in a year. And again, after this thing ends, after the mercy rule comes into play Saturday and this thing ends, I hate it for you Florida State fans because you're going to spend 8 months sitting around waiting, and then you're going to get your ass kicked on opening day against Alabama in 2025. So it's like you got nothing to look forward to. Florida State's like Thanksgiving Eve when you know the Outlaws are coming. You know Mama's coming. And you know she's got a long, long list of things that are on her mind. And you can't do anything right except for sneak down. I almost said down in the basement. You're no longer in Boston, Ballou. You're here in Florida. There's no such thing as basements here in Florida. You sneak out to the garage to knock down a 40, right? And like maybe stuff in another gummy because you're trying to deal with the outlaw. And you know what the outlaw does? She stays. She overstays. Look, if you can see me on YouTube, it's a water right now, but I'm going to raise my glass to you people out there who have to deal with that beginning tonight in the next 4 days. Oh, my gosh. Oh, your girlfriend, your wife is so great. Yeah, but have you ever met her mother? All right, we got much more to do. We're with you tonight till 8 o'clock. Tim Brando at 7:20, a special appearance from Tim, who sadly lost his mom. Hate that for Tim. Funeral yesterday. Big fan of Tim Brando. Known him forever. He's going to make some time. John Osher at the top of the hour as well at 7 o'clock. So much more coming up on the Jags, much more coming up on college football.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Yo, E.T. here. You need the perfect spot to unwind with friends, family, or coworkers? Dart Bar is just right off King Street. Darts, pool, and foosball. Dart Bar has all the games to keep the fun rolling. With 20 taps, 200-plus cans, and plenty of non-alcoholic options. Dart Bar has something for everyone. Plus, we host community events and leagues and can accommodate everything from company happy hours to milestone birthdays. Dart Bar is your go-to place for fun, drinks, and great times, no matter the occasion.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety. There is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 27, 1960, hockey legend Gordie Howe became the first NHL player to score 1,000 points. He achieved this milestone in his 938th game.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlion from MyBookie. Thanksgiving isn't just about stuffing your face, it's about stuffing your wallet, and MyBookie's got a bunch of killer promos to help you do just that. Thanksgiving Day, MyBookie's boosting the odds on Devon Achane to score the first touchdown in Dolphins versus Packers. If he scores first, you cash in big. If he doesn't, MyBookie's got your back with a full refund. That's what I call a no-lose bet. Starting Monday, MyBookie's Telegram prize pool contest kicks off. The pool starts at $15,000 and grows by $5,000 for every 1,000 new subscribers. All you have to do is join the Telegram channel by December to lock in your share. You'll find the Telegram channel link in our MyBookie videos this Wednesday on the 1010XL social platforms. This Thanksgiving, load up your plate, grab your phone, and lock in your picks. MyBookie's giving you risk-free football action, a shot at growing prize pool, and if you're new to the family, they'll double your deposit with my promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Nick in here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. If I know anything about the fall, it's hunting season, it's cooler weather. People need to get off-road. What have you got to offer?
We've got the full line of Honda ATVs, the Foreman, the Rancher. We've got the side-by-sides, the Pioneers, the Talons, everything you need to get off-road.
And you can trick them out with all sorts of extras?
If you name it, you want the loud stereo, you want the cool light bar, we got it.
All right, look online, cyclesofjacksonville.com, or head to the showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
With this week's upcoming matchup against the Houston Texans, the Jaguars' defense will be tasked with covering a dangerous Texans offense. When the two teams played a couple of weeks ago, the Jaguars held them to only 101 rush yards. Tony Boselli spoke on the difference in this Sunday's matchup now that they have Joe Mixon back in the backfield healthy on the Jaguars' Happy Hour show.
The other challenge this week for this defense, which they did not face the first time we played Texans, remember, Joe Mixon was hurt. And when Joe Mixon gets it going, they're a different animal. They're a different animal, both in the screen game and the run game. He's good in the screen game, too.
What week did they play them?
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Any clubs or anything happening tonight? There are some that will be...
Oh, this is the night to go out.
By themselves. Someone just asked me if I'm going to be by myself. I was extended an invitation, and that's appreciated. But no, we'll be heading to Tampa. I haven't decided if we're going to go tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm probably going to go first thing in the morning. I know you're headed tonight.
I am. I have a 5K to run first thing in the morning.
That's right, man. You didn't train for it either, did you?
I run every day, so it's just constant training. I'm hoping to be around 25 minutes tomorrow.
How do you handle if you get a cramp in the rib area? I was always told, breathe and pretend the air's going straight to it. Have you heard that? If so, do you ever get cramps?
I actually recently got one for the first time in a really long time, and I was just mentally like, you can finish this run. You have like a half a mile left at the most. And I was able to just like put it in the back of my mind, and it kind of went away as I was finishing my run.
Okay.
They all probably won't, but as long as you stay hydrated, you're not going to cramp.
I experienced discomfort the other day as I went outside to check the mail. And had to take a knee, okay? I did. And in Bartram, it's great because you got so many moms, just blowing by in their carriages with their babies and all that stuff. So I had plenty of conversations, and after about a 10-minute period, it went away. But I don't think you can do that during a 5K.
That is the most impressive thing when you are running a 5K, when you see some of these moms running with a baby in a carriage. It's like incredibly... I just could never even imagine doing something
I
like
ran
that.
a lot growing up. I'll say this. I played 3 sports in high school, and I never really got nervous before a game. But we had that deal where you had to run the mile under 6 minutes.
Right.
And all day in school, that was the worst feeling about, what should I eat? What should I not eat? It was just the trepidation of being... And I always ran around a 5:20...
Which is great. That's amazing.
Well, I was in really good shape growing up. But it was nerve-wracking to be able to do that. And I think you could do the quarter mile in under 55 seconds they allowed. And I don't know what the half mile was, but it was and if you didn't run a mile in 6 minutes and you made the team, whether it was football, hockey, or baseball, especially in football, they'd run you.
Oh, dude.
Until you could make it.
That was one of the main reasons I didn't want to play football in high school, was because the practices just looked too much.
It was terrible.
Too intense.
It's terrible. I can't think of one kind thing to say about football practice, especially there when it got so cold. I mean, it'd still be hot 2 days in August. And school starts later in Boston than it does around here. School wouldn't start until September.
Okay.
But, it gets cold pretty quick. All of a sudden, you're out there practicing. You have a coach who thinks he's Lombardi. In those old fields, like rocks on the fields, it was just terrible. It was
Junction Boys.
Oh, it was nothing. No, Junction Boy to me is more of like 100-degree temperature and no water.
Yeah. I'm just thinking there's that scene where
this is like freezing. It's like 40-degree temperatures and you're outside.
Me.
Yeah.
But they showed like those fields with the rocks and the cactuses and everything. One of my favorite sports movies.
Hockey practice was great if you're winning. And we had great teams. I mean, our goaltender was Tom Barrasso, for crying out loud. He just went to the Hall of Fame. He was the goaltender.
Wow.
And we had a few other guys who went on. Jeff Norton played 19 years in the NHL. Bob Sweeney. The hockey team. So, hockey practice was fun.
So does every hockey or every high school have their own rink, like a basketball court, or do you share one? How does that work?
No, you share it.
Okay.
Where I grew up in Acton, there were rinks in Boxborough and there were rinks in Concord. And Maynard. We actually didn't have one technically in the town of Acton. See, it's different from around here, too, where you don't see identifications of different towns.
No.
That's big there. And you don't cross the line without taking a lot. I was a turncoat when I played Legion ball because we didn't have Legion in Acton. We had Babe Ruth, and I played Legion. And that did not go over well. You would think, kind of jokingly, but no, it was, the difference being, I think Babe Ruth, you play maybe twice, 3 times a week. Where Legion ball, you basically played every night.
Okay.
And it was just a better brand of baseball. But, yeah, I took a lot of crap for that. The injury report, really the only concern is Yasir Abdul with the hamstring. He didn't work today. We've talked an awful lot about Trevor Lawrence. He's officially listed as limited, but his workload did increase. Mac Jones got some first-team snaps, but the majority went to Trevor. Tyson Campbell, the shoulder, limited. 2 guys today in full. Good news. The return of Tank Bigsby, the ankle. Practice today. Also, Brandon Sheriff, your starting right guard, the knee and the shoulder, a full work today. Just let me give you this for Houston before we bring in John Osher. 4 defensive guys didn't work today. I'm telling you, this is setting up for an upset victory. Will Anderson Jr., the ankle, didn't practice. Danico Autry, the knee, didn't practice. Big Foley, right? Fado Cassie didn't work. The foot. Jalen Petrie didn't work with the shoulder today. So 4 defensive players, a DNP. We had a couple of rests. Let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other players, the majority of them defensive guys, who did not go today, or excuse me, were limited today. If I have an opportunity, I'll go through that during our second hour. But this is a beaten up Houston football team. So can the Jaguars get things rolling Sunday at 1? Pull off a victory here, and then it becomes a soft schedule if you get through the Texans. Let's find out. John Osher at 7. Tim Brando at 7:22. Great to have you with us right here on this Wednesday.
If you're on the prowl for exclusive updates and insight, get your fill on Jaguars Today.
I like it. I like it.
With Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony, 10 to noon weekdays.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Frank Frangie here. This November, Nimnik Buick GMC is honoring the brave men and women who have served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partnership with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchase, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs for military veterans and supporting the K9s for Warriors mission. And this month, Nimnik Buick GMC is offering a $500 military appreciation discount on select new Buick and GMC models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's Thanksgiving week, and Monahan Jewelers has the best deals in town with up to 40% off the entire store. Thousands of beautiful pieces are all on sale with fantastic prices on our entire inventory, including up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds. We're your local family jeweler, so come visit us today and on Small Business Saturday for up to 40% off on diamond studs, engagement rings, colored gemstones, our designer brands, custom design, everything. The name you can trust in fine jewelry, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
If you have a slow-draining sink or toilet that sounds like it's about to back up, imagine the potential plumbing emergency when you have family over for the holidays. Flush after flush after flush. Avoid holiday clogs with a call to Duck Rooter today. Duck Rooter will come and resolve those plumbing issues so you can enjoy a free-flowing holiday season. Call 904-862-6769. Visit duckrooter.com.
Movember is Cancer Awareness Month, so educate yourself on the risk factors for prostate and other cancers. Take charge of your health. Many cancers are highly preventable. Trust the physicians at Ackerman Cancer Center. AckermanCancerCenter.com.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
The team at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to book your next round of golf with us. At Hidden Hills, we love the game, and we'll provide you with a memorable golf experience at one of the most unique golf courses in North Florida. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound and Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound and Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Rage. With a huge selection of guns, ammo, and accessories, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got everything you need to hit your target. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, their friendly experts will guide you every step of the way at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Gun and Range. Gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
And 7 o'clock every Wednesday night. You know what that means. Our senior writer from Jaguars.com, blesses us on into the night. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, John Osher.
You as well, Rick. You as well. It's you got to win out, Rick.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing now, right?
Well,
win the last 6.
Become a Hollywood writer here now, and it, I mean, if they get through Houston, then all of a sudden this schedule, it looks doable. And we do know there's one thing that I have talked about, that in his first 2 years, Doug Peterson has had stretches where he has won 6 in a row.
Well, had stretches, and again, let's couch this by telling the listeners that we're really just pipe dreaming here, right? Like winning 6, got to win 1 first.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
If you look at the history in Philly, the 2 years after they made the Super Bowl, they made the playoffs with like gutty, hard to believe finishes to sneak into the wild card. So, it's doable. He knows how to do that. The reality, though, is they haven't been a good team in big situations this year. So you got to prove it once before you can talk seriously about it. But right now, it's all we've got to talk about.
Right.
So yes, it's doable, and the Texans' schedule is brutal. You win this, you're 3.5 back. The Texans' next 3 games are, the Dolphins, Chiefs, and somebody else who's really tough. It escapes me. But, yeah, you can sneak into it, but you got to be a lot better than you've been so far.
When he talks about in-house changes, do you believe that we're going to see anything on Sunday, whether it's Bigsby getting more carries than ETN, Ventrell Miller playing every snap, him taking over play calling, and he tells us? Do you think there'll be anything that it's that obvious, or it's some minor changes that we're not aware of?
I think it'll be maybe some young guys playing a little more, thinking of maybe some draft picks, Prince and Smith, maybe being up, that sort of thing. You might see more, like, say, defensively, more zone, more pressure, maybe a smidge less rotation.
Okay.
But this is just me sort of analyzing Doug over 3 years. Like with play calling, everybody says, he'll take over play calling. I don't think he believes it's a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to shift on something that he doesn't believe in. I think if he thought play calling was an issue, I think he'd have switched play calling a year ago. So I kind of think he believes that a lot of what's being done is being done for the right reasons on that front, right? So I think you'll see subtle changes. I'd be surprised if it's anything that I'm a writer, so I think of it this way. I'd be surprised if it's anything that's worth a story.
Okay.
Right? Like, hey, Doug Peterson says this, and I don't think he's going to stand on the podium and say, you know what? You guys were right all along. I should have been calling play. I mean, I'm making light of that, but I think it's more he believes in that, and I don't think he's going to change that just because the buzz is that he ought to.
Jaguars, Texans, Sunday at 1. Houston's won 5 in a row here in Duval, which you would think that in itself would be enough to motivate this team to take back the home field. Okay, unless there's a setback, I'm certainly under the impression, John, that Trevor does play Sunday.
Yeah, that's the plan. And Trevor used that phrase today. That's the plan. I don't think you'd be practicing him twice. I don't think you would be creating the possibility of putting him on the podium and sort of talking. They say that's the plan. This is a setback, right? And then if you listen to the availabilities, everything else, they're talking like he's playing.
Yeah.
They're just not saying it for sure, right? And you know what I mean? The answers to the questions. There's not a lot of Mac Jones talk. So, I think he plays. And I've been saying for a couple of weeks, I think playing him makes sense as long as you feel when you're watching him. I don't think it makes sense if he looks like he did the last 6 games of last season, which it always felt like you're watching him and you're saying, you know what, good for the kid. He's gutting it out, but he's clearly not 100%.
Yeah.
If it looks like that, then I don't think they will play him, nor should they. But I think with it being the non-throwing shoulder, you probably pad it up. You restrict whatever you can to make sure it's not bothering him. And if he wants to play, you let him play. I guess that's the way they're going to go.
Yeah. I tell you what's going to be intriguing for me, and you and I, we've had conversations about this. That's Walker Little. And, you know, the math has been positive. 0 pressures in the last 2 weeks, 60 dropbacks. You know, the eye test could form a little bit of a different opinion, but he's certainly going to have his hands full with a combination of Hunter and Anderson Jr. He still has 6 games remaining. If he plays at this level, that's going to be one of the most intriguing decisions the Jaguars are going to have to make here at the end of the year.
Yeah, there's a couple of things at play. You know, does he want to come back, right? Because he'll have that right as a free agent to say, you know what, I just need to change the pace. I haven't talked to Walker about that. I don't know if that's going to be his feeling. But that would be a factor. Who's making the decisions here, which I think we don't know yet. And then, so it's hard to even speculate because we can't even have from talking to people around the building thing whether they like Walker Little or not. I don't know if it matters if these guys like Walker Little. It might not. So I think really for Walker Little, it's more about get 6 more games on tape. You're going to play somewhere. It expands his options. But it's hard for me to have any idea if he'll be back.
Yeah.
Because of so many unknowns, especially within the organization.
Last one for you, with the understanding that obviously, Daly, you cover the Jaguars, but you're at least familiar with the Houston Texans. Boy, man, a 7-5 record. It just feels like from afar that thing is falling apart. They're injured. They're calling out everyone, including the quarterback C.J. Stroud, who's going through a sophomore slump. This is really going to set up for an intriguing matchup.
Well, and what's interesting is if you really get inside it psychologically. I thought of this today, and I'm sure I'm last to think of it. Yeah, they're 7-5 with this tough schedule coming up. This feels like all of a sudden the bat might be tight in their hands, right? Like you're swinging for the fences every play because you feel like, and if we don't win this, we're 7-6.
Yeah.
We're staring at this bunch. I don't know if it'd be the Jaguars to catch them, if the Colts would catch them. But I think it'll feel very much, Rick, as soon as the Jags lost to Cincinnati last year, everybody's eyes started going to the schedule and going, ooh, the Ravens are tough. Ooh, like, wow, when's the next one coming, right? And you looked at Carolina, thought they'd win that. All of a sudden, Tampa looked tougher after that Cincinnati loss because Trevor was hurt, right? The dynamics can change that fast. And it feels like for the Texans, they lose this, all of a sudden 7-6 is going to feel like 7-9 to people.
Yeah.
So it feels like a lot of games rather than just one. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Make sure you read everything from John Osher and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com, where, of course, John Osher is the Jaguars senior writer. Have an outstanding holiday. A happy Thanksgiving to you, John. See you soon.
You as well, Rick. See you Sunday, buddy.
There he goes, John Osher. Appreciate his time. You look at Houston, they've lost 3 of 4. Okay? You know, I almost hate to do this, but I'm gonna. JJ, I think the Jaguars win Sunday. I do. I think coming off a bye, this Houston team is so beaten up. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think it's going to be a mistake-filled game. I think the Jaguars eke out a victory.
I think it'll be a very close game. I think the Jags cover, but I think they end up losing. I said on the Fringe show 27-24 seems about right to me, just because I don't care how bad Houston's been playing. This is like the defense everyone wants to play to get right.
Yeah.
And I just don't see them being able to make too many changes from that team that just gave up 1,000 points against Detroit. So, I think the Jags are going to be in it. But at the end of the day, I don't think that defense is going to be able to hold on. And I like Houston to win.
So if Houston wins, then they have the bye. So, this is kind of going back to the way it was for Jacksonville, obviously heading into Detroit, the game that you just referenced. If somehow, from Houston's point of view, if they're thinking if they can get by Jacksonville, and we all remember what happened in, what was it, week 4, when it was the 24-20 game, Jacksonville. You remember in the second half, Jacksonville defensively forced 5 consecutive punts. The offense took the ball over, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I want to say there was about 4.5 minutes to go in the game, and they had a chance to win it. And they went 3-0, and they gave it back to Houston, who did win it. Again, that's what we've talked about all year, the lack of complementary football. Your defense did its job. 5 straight punts against Houston. And you just needed a little something from your offense to put it away, and it didn't get done. And then when your defense, in their biggest moment, they succumbed. They gave up the lead. But anyway, Houston, if they win here, or let's say they lose here.
Oh,
okay. Let's say they lose here. Then all of a sudden they're 7-6. You get the bye to get healthy, and they need that. I mean, they clearly need a bye. I just took you through the injury report. They're beating up a team. All of a sudden they take on Miami. Okay? Miami's a team that is trending up. You go to Kansas City. On paper, that looks like an automatic loss, right? Baltimore the week after. And then you go to Tennessee, who just beat them. And
then look at the Colts. The Colts have, so let's say Houston loses this weekend to the Jags. The Colts play the Pats.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to make the playoffs,
boy,
you beat
Jared
the Pats.
Mayo Jared Mayo may be a one and done after the comments he made about I can't do anything for him
once
after
they cross
crossing the white line. I mean,
shocking
wow.
to say that.
From a former player not to know better, it's disappointing. But anyway, continue.
So they have the Pats this weekend, then they're both on byes. And then the Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jags. So only one winning team. And we're talking about Titans, Giants, Jags to end the season. I mean, you got to go 3-0 there. So if the Texans somehow slip up this weekend, I think the Colts are going to win the division.
Imagine that.
With a quarterback who was just benched.
Major quarterback controversy. Right now, the 32 points is the difference, minus 32. Wow. And they could end up winning the division. The Jaguars and the Raiders are the worst in the NFL at minus 108 as far as point differential. I actually checked that. Carolina's minus 146. The 108s are tops in the AFC. I guess they're tied for 31st or make that 30th in the NFL, but that is not good. Yeah, I mean, you just look at these numbers as we get ready to bring in Tim Brando. Jaguars average 18.9 points a game. That's 25th. I mean, how can you win when you're not even scoring 21 points a game? Right? You look at Houston, 23.8. That's 12th. Jaguars defensively, 28.7 a game, 30th in pro football. Their defensive numbers are absolutely staggering right now, Jacksonville. And, Houston, they're second in sacks. They gave up 22.3, which is 15th in the NFL. Let me give you this real quick because I just think it's important. The Jaguars' defensive numbers. They're 32nd in total defense, which is yards. They're 26th against the run. Joe Mixon had his worst game of the year. He's going to be ready to go on Sunday. They're 32nd against the pass. And as I just documented, they're 30th in scoring defense, allowing 28.7 a game. That defense has got massive issues. But I'm telling you one thing, and one thing only. That is secondary. Next year, it's all about the offense. It's all about fixing that offensive line and adding a wide receiver. And that is what this organization is going to have to do. If you lose games 33-30, fine. But it's better than losing games 12-7 or whatever the heck it's been, some of these really bad games that they have been a part of. Okay, let's bring in Tim Brando. Let's mix it up. Let's do some college football. It's our weekly conversation. He's next.
Making the game last a little longer.
Yeah!
Join me, Hacker.
And me, Leon Searcy. And Coach Campo. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day, it's the Window World of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Farm Rowan Lawn and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
I've known Glenn Cohen for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, save 20% on your entire project. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Mia here for MyBookie. Thanksgiving isn't just about stuffing your face, it's about stuffing your wallet. And MyBookie has a bunch of killer promos to help you do just that. Thanksgiving Day, MyBookie is boosting the odds on Devon A-Chain to score the first touchdown in Dolphins Packers. If he scores first, you cash in big. If he doesn't, MyBookie has your back with a full refund. That's what I call a no-lose bet. Starting Monday, MyBookie's Telegram prize pool contest kicks off. The pool starts at $15K and grows by $5,000 for every 1,000 new subscribers. All you have to do is join the Telegram channel by December 1 to lock in your share. You'll find the Telegram channel link in our MyBookie videos and graphics this week on the 1010XL social platforms. The more subscribers, the bigger the winning. So spread the word and let's make this jackpot massive. Here's the game plan. This Thanksgiving, load up your plate, grab your phone, lock in your picks. MyBookie's giving you risk-free football, a shot at growing prize pool, and if you're new to the family, they'll double your deposit with promo code 1010XL. But anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 27, 1960, hockey legend Gordie Howe became the first NHL player to score 1,000 points. He achieved this milestone in his 938th game.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
A lot of company.
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you've
Got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Cyber threats don't take time outs. Protect your business with DoubleCheck Cybersecurity's AI-powered solutions. Get 24/7 defense and stop hackers before they score. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com to schedule your free security consultation today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
And let's bring in our good friend Tim Brendo. It is our weekly conversation. Typically, Tim's with us on Thursday, but of course, Thanksgiving tomorrow, and folks getting after it, having an outstanding time. Timmy B, always a lot of fun. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You'll have to understand. I can't give you our full performance with Beano impressions and whatnot, as I'm in the middle of the DFW airport with literally thousands of people around me. But I can talk a little football. And next week, when I'm done and everybody else is having to work on football and I'm getting ready for hoops, I'll get, Beans will make yet another appearance for you.
Oh, we love it.
Well, I'm headed to Boise tonight, and I've got the guys on the blue field on Friday morning. It's actually a very early start time, a 10 a.m. Mountain Time start. It's a game they really need, obviously, because they can't afford to lose. Right now, they've got a bye, and as a conference champion would be high enough rated to be in the semifinals, and they want to hold on to that. Cannot afford a loss to Oregon State, who's also looking to become bowl eligible. So that's the game on Big Fox at noon Eastern, 10 Mountain Time on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be flying. Devin Gardner and Josh Sims and myself will be taking a flight immediately after the game into Indianapolis, where we'll get ready to do the Old Oaken Bucket game on Saturday night on FS1 at 6 Eastern Time. And, of course, Indiana can't afford a loss. They dropped to 11th in last night's standings, and they no doubt need not only a win, but probably an authoritative win in the game against Purdue with a 1-10 record in the Old Oaken Bucket game. And I suspect that they know, after talking to Kurt Signetti today, which I did, our preparation for the Saturday games comes before the preparation for the Friday game.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked to the Indiana staff today and to Coach Signetti before I left Chateau Brando. They know what's ahead of them, and they're eager to get this sort of six-quarter slump that they've had offensively out of the way. You know, they since really the thumb injury and the surgery that was done on that throwing hand to their quarterback, Rourke, they've not quite been the same offensively. So they're looking to reestablish themselves and make sure that they secure their spot in the CFP on Saturday night. So we've got a double dip, Friday on the blue, and then Saturday night in the cold, and I do mean cold, Bloomington, Indiana. I think it's going to be 19 degrees to kick off, but dry. I'm told it's going to be dry. We should be closing out our regular season on Fox.
How about an upset? We see him every week. Can you make a case for Syracuse at home over Miami, or California? I know it's a long trip to Dallas, but SMU's had everything rolling. Just the way they've played has been outstanding as of late. Possibly an opportunity here for the Golden Bears to pull it off. Do you see an upset coming this weekend?
Well, there's always going to be upsets. I mean, and this year especially. The interesting thing to me is is how the SEC has just nuked itself.
Right.
I mean, with those teams, with 3 losses now, and I'm sorry, at some point, and I don't care what Greg Sankey says in social media, at some point, losses matter.
Yeah.
Okay? And those losses last week were to a double-digit dog playing at home. Yeah, but they were a double-digit dog. Alabama losing to Oklahoma the way they lost, I mean, that was an embarrassment to not just Alabama but to the SEC. And I wasn't surprised at all about what happened with Ole Miss and Florida. I think I told you last week that I thought the Gators could do it again. If they could beat LSU, why not take down Ole Miss? They're a better team than the Kentucky team was that beat Ole Miss at home. I mean, to think that Kentucky beat Ole Miss in Oxford this year,
right?
Seeing what's happened to them since then, I mean, what kind of case can you make for them? Although, if you were to think about the 3 teams in the SEC with the 3 losses, okay, you'd have to probably make a case that Ole Miss probably, without having a chance to play in the SEC championship, Georgia conceivably could wind up with 3 losses, losing in the title game to Texas. But, I that's a perplexing situation, Rick. I mean, they've basically run themselves out of any thought about getting 5. 4 is, I think, maybe even a reach at this stage. You have any idea how pissed they're going to be?
Oh, yeah.
If they don't get 4 teams in. The Clemson story, I think, is an interesting one as it relates to Georgia. And what if seeing where Clemson is and where SMU is, and the situation with Georgia, any stubbing of the toe here, and you'd have to make a case that the ACC could easily get 2 in, and I don't see how. I'm not sure how they don't get 2 in, frankly.
Yeah.
SMU, in my mind, deserves to be in. They're playing better than anybody right now, including Miami. SMU's been really pretty solid on both sides of the ball. But can an upset happen? Sure. I mean, this season, anything can happen. The only good news for the Southeastern Conference is that enough other teams could lose as well this weekend.
No doubt.
Because of the rivalry games that are going to be played. But I think Indiana was the big beneficiary of those teams with 2 losses that just played horribly in the Southeastern Conference last week. Indiana lost. I don't think they were. I don't think they were as badly dominated as some in the South would like to have you believe. They made 2 big blunders on special teams, or that game would have been a lot closer. But the rank and file of the SEC is just going apoplectic now about our team with 3 losses. Who have they played? At some point, the losses matter. They do, okay? And they can cry and moan and gnash teeth and bitch all they want, but at some point, one of those teams that's got 3 losses needs to play like they belong in the playoffs. And right now, I mean, they're playing themselves out of Florida bowls that are just meaningless exhibitions at this stage.
The last game I'll ask you about, and it's going to be incredible. It's going to be Saturday night, as we know, at Kyle Field. Texas going in to face Texas A&M.
Well, I mean, A&M is a team that has the entire conference rooting for it, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt.
Because Texas is the SEC version of Penn State. People want to bitch and moan about Penn State's easy schedule, or for that matter, Indiana's easy schedule. My answer would be, tell me who Texas, what's their biggest win? I mean, what's Texas's biggest win?
Florida.
I mean, there's really not a lot there for them. They got housed by Georgia in their own crib, and they really need to win the game with A&M. Maybe it helps that it is a rivalry game to get their attention. But Texas A&M has a chance to. I don't think those folks would care whether they moved into the playoff or not. Just ruining it for Texas would matter the most to them. I think that's a pick'em game. I think if A&M can get the quarterback run going the way they did in that win against LSU, I think there's a very good shot that they could pull it off. Texas is the most complete team, no question, but they're also the most untested complete team that's out there right now. And I got another one for you. You didn't ask me about it, but I'm just going to tell you. Ohio State is ripe for the picking against Michigan. Michigan got right last week. They got, now granted, it was Northwestern. I'll give you that. Yeah, I was on hand to watch it. But they put up a 50-burger in that game in front of their old quarterback and me. And they got a lot of seniors that are still playing and still care, especially that defensive front. They got 2 first-round picks in that defensive front, 2.
Yeah.
And if Ohio State can't get anything done on the ground, if they struggle on the ground like they did when they played, by example, when they played when they played Nebraska. You remember that game.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska almost beat them. They ran the ball well, and Henderson looked like his old self in that game against Indiana last week. But they got to put 2 games together. And in the past, there's a lot of history here. Go back to 1968, the 68 season turning into 69. Ohio State was a prohibitive favorite, double-digit favorite, lost the game. Schembechler pulled it off. That may have been his first year in the border rivalry. And then in 73, they did it again, pulled it off as a big underdog in that game. I could see Michigan screwing it up for Ohio State big time this weekend.
We're going to need a 24-team college football playoff if all of this happens. Hey, Timmy, always a pleasure.
Me a bit.
No.
Wouldn't bother me a bit.
You and I would love it. I want to offer my condolences to your mom. I know it's been difficult for you and your family, but I've been there before, and I know she meant an awful lot to you.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, she never missed a game that I either played in or I broadcasted when I was on television. And I'm going to be wearing, on the blue field on Saturday, I'm going to be wearing a brown suit in her honor. She always thought I looked good in brown. So I'm going to honor her by doing that. We called her Get Back Loretta in honor of the Beatles. Get Back JoJo, Get Back Loretta. Loretta Pierce Brando. I said this, you know, my dad was a broadcaster and helped me get where I am as a career sportscaster. There's no doubt about that. But it was my mom that taught me how to compete and to win. She was a great athlete, Rick. She was a basketball player, a track star in high school. And when I got in trouble at home, I was pretty slow. I inherited my dad's speed, unfortunately. She could run me down with a switch and get me taken care of in short order. But she taught me how to compete and win. And in today's world, you got to have a little bit of both. So God bless her for that. And I appreciate you mentioning her tonight that way.
Outstanding. Yeah. No question about it. And I know a lot of our listeners feel the same. Tim, I know you're traveling a bunch, but enjoy both those calls and have a happy Thanksgiving as well.
You got it, Rick. All the best. Bye-bye.
Right, there he goes. Always a pleasure to have Tim Brando with us. His mom had an incredible life. She lived to the age of 97. So, that's great. Maybe we'll play some Beatles. Get Back from the. Is that from the White Album? I'm trying to remember. Is that Charles Manson?
No, I think that's on their last
Abbey Road
album.
Is it on Let It Be? It might actually be on Let It Be. Yeah. Okay, I think you're right. It is on Let It Be. All right, there you go. We'll play that on the other side to honor Tim Brando's mother, Loretta. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Texas, I guess I never realized this because I get sucked into SEC fandom. I get sucked into SEC snobbery. And they did beat number 10 Michigan in the Big House. They crushed them early in the year.
Seems like a
31-12.
long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, did Texas. They beat Oklahoma, who at the time was ranked 18th, 34-3. Of course, they got clobbered by Georgia at home. Boy, that's right. They beat Vanderbilt 27-24, ranked 25th in America at the time. Beat Florida. I said that was their best win of the year. Arkansas, and, they just beat Kentucky. But, hey, Georgia and Florida, and I guess we'll give you Oklahoma. But now they get Texas saying, all right, I'm thinking, where's LSU? Where's Tennessee? Where's Auburn?
I would have loved to see that Florida game with the quarterback, either Mertz or Lagway.
Yeah. I don't think, that was for sure. That was the walk-on.
Yeah.
Who played in that game there. Aiden Warner, your starting quarterback there, where both Ewers and Manning did play in that game. Ewers, the ankle, reportedly is going to be okay. He should be good to go for Texas. But, yeah, this thing is just crazy. As a matter of fact, in our final moments here, let's just, because we haven't had an opportunity to get into it yet, let's go over the college football playoff rankings and then look at these teams and what's in store during rivalry weekend.
He's mastered the art of incognito.
Charming, sophisticated secret agent.
Hayes Carline takes you behind enemy lines. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway.
Roland Reich Plumbing. There when you need them. Big or small plumbing problem, call Roland Reich Plumbing anytime at 260-7059. 260-7059. Where quality and experience count.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. The studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
When you take a sip of Bold City Brewery's many flavors, you're taking a sip of this Bold City. In Duval, since 2008, they've been cranking out craft beer for 16 plus years now. So head to their production house on Roselle Street in Riverside or Bold City downtown and sample a Duke's, their legendary brown ale. 2 great IPAs, plus Duval Light, Killer Whale, and plenty more. It's all on tap at Bold City Brewery, downtown or in Riverside. Log on and taste the craft at boldcitybrewery.com.
If your IT, data security, and your office copiers are operating perfectly, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, as your technology partner.
Advanced Business Solutions.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Kuhn Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Kuhn Flowers.
Why is the Dead Sea so named? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Dead Sea is 9 times saltier than any other sea, which means no living creature can actually live there.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
With the sun setting earlier, Hidden Hills Golf Club has expanded their twilight specials so you can take advantage of our special afternoon rates and get your round in before dark. Book today at hiddenhillsgc.com and enjoy this beautiful fall weather.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Do people still smuggling grass now that it's legal all over the place? I mean, they probably do, right? It's like people still go to the local pool hall and place a bet, even though you can do it, I guess, legally, right? Online.
You got to get it on the airplane somehow.
Yeah. Don't know how that works. Top 4 teams remain the same in the college football playoff rankings. Notre Dame did move up a spot to 5. Miami 6. They moved up 2 spots. 3 spots from Georgia. They go 10-7 as well. Tennessee moved up 3 spots to number 8. SMU, the biggest movement up, 4 spots to 9. Indiana dropped 5 to number 10. Boise State up 1 to 11. And then you have Clemson up 5 spots at number 12. A couple of other notables, 13 and 14. Bama and Ole Miss, respectively, now after dropping 6 and 5 spots. If there was a college football playoff, as we know, Oregon would get the bye. Texas would get the bye. Miami would get the bye. And then it's Boise State from the Mountain West. Tim Brando, we just talked to, has that game tomorrow against Oregon State. They got to win that and win the championship Saturday matchup in order to get there. But it's not a Big 12 team. The Big 12 team is Arizona State, and they actually would get the 12th seed. They would travel to Columbus in week 1 and take on Ohio State. The other 3 games would be Indiana at Penn State, an 11 against a 6. They did not meet in the regular season. SMU at Notre Dame, that's a 10-7. And then Tennessee at Georgia, a 9 against a number 8. That would be a rematch. Okay, let's look at this now. It's a phenomenal weekend. Upsets. Oregon hosts Washington. I'm going to say no way. How about you?
I'm going to say I'd give that on a scale of 10. I give it like a 3. But the irony is, even if they do, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Oregon's still in the Big Ten championship game.
Tim Brando just made a huge deal about Michigan going into Ohio State. Respectfully, I don't see it. I think Ohio State wins this game.
I agree with you. I just don't think Michigan's offense is anywhere good enough to be able to go score for score against it. I do think it'll be low scoring and probably really close at halftime, but Ohio State just has too much firepower for me.
Texas at Texas A&M. That's the one that's really gathered my attention. 7:30 right now. Texas is favored by 5 points on the road. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will be wagering on Texas A&M. A lot of people who believe Texas A&M can pull off this upset.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by this at all. But I like Texas in this matchup. I get they haven't played anybody. But to me, that defense has been dominant, and they've been good without Ewers. So, like, all they need to do is have a couple things click on offense, and I think they win that game pretty easily. What a game they had to go through last Saturday against Auburn, Texas A&M, that is. So, like, it's going to be tough to get to come back after a loss like that. I like Texas this weekend at home. Or, no, it's on the road, isn't it?
It's at Texas A&M. 12th man.
Still like Texas.
Yeah. Penn State hosts Maryland. They're 24.5-point favorite. No problem there. A rivalry game. Notre Dame at USC. 3:30 on CBS on Saturday. That is appointment viewing
in L.A.
for me. If I was forced to make a pick, I would take Notre Dame, but I think it's going to be a football game. You've been bringing up Syracuse all season long. Here we go. That'll be up against that Notre Dame-USC game. The long trip, the good news is they know that it's indoors. You don't have to deal with the elements, but Miami favored by 11 points, ranked 6th in the nation.
You didn't come to me on the Notre Dame game, but I think they lose. These are the two games that I think they shake up the entire... Everything about the playoffs, the 12, it's going to be completely different because Miami's going to lose to Syracuse. They're out. And I think USC is going to win. Notre Dame's out. And I think Clemson wins, which means Clemson would be in the ACC title game against SMU, where maybe SMU could afford to lose that game at that point and still be in. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I think Miami's out after this week. And I've been saying it all season long. I don't – dude – Kyle McCord has been slinging it there, man. Yeah. He leads the NCAA in completions and yards, I think. Like, Gadsden's really good. They have 3 really good wide receivers. Miami's defense is pretty bad. So, yeah, I think Miami gets upset this weekend. It's going to really kill a lot of Canes fans because they've been, you know, I'm obviously on Canes Twitter, and they've been, like, marking this as a W. Like, no problem. I just... You heard it here first, folks.
All right. Let's wind it down here before we get to the cool down. Georgia at Georgia Tech. I think they'll play with them, but Georgia wins. Yeah. Tennessee at Vandy. Not going to happen. Tennessee, the better team. Cal SMU is intriguing to me because California's a team that is electrifying. I just think SMU's got this thing rolling. They're favored by 13.5. Be surprised if there's an upset there. Also,
they'll still get into the ACC title even if they lose, by the way.
No, Indiana at Purdue, not going to happen. Boise State, Oregon State, we'll see. And you just mentioned Clemson at South Carolina.
Great game.
It really is. Two teams ranked, 15 and 16 or respectively right next to one another. And then the other one to keep an eye on is Arizona, Arizona State at Arizona. Arizona State would rep the Big 12 right now, but they're only an 8-point road favorite in that matchup. So that has all the makings of what should end up being just an incredible weekend of football games. So there you go. That's the way things look in the top 25. It is actually South Carolina at 15, Clemson at 12. This game is in Death Valley. Clemson's favored by only a field goal.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
How about that? You got all these rivalry games, and I didn't even mention Alabama-Auburn. I didn't even mention Florida State-Florida. I think Auburn will play with Alabama. That game is in Tuscaloosa. Obviously, I think it's going to be one-sided for the Gators over the Seminoles. The big news today, and we've talked about it throughout, it appears that Trevor Lawrence is going to go. All right, he met with the media earlier today. He's had 2.5 weeks, and he said it, and that's the plan. That was his exact couple of words. That is good news. It looks like he's going to be able to go. Tank Bigsby is back. Brandon Sheriff is back. The Jaguars are relatively healthy outside of course, players that they have put on the injured reserve, including Gabriel Davis. The other side of all this, Houston is really beaten up. They had 4 defensive guys who did not practice today. That included Will Anderson Jr. They had 6 other players on their injury report today who were limited. So they're limping into a bye. This is a big game for Houston. They just would love to get a W and then go to a bye. Of course, Jaguar fans are like, no, they've already won 5 straight here. Time to say enough is enough and knock off the Houston Texans. Folks, I want you all to have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. You as well, JJ. Have fun with your family.
You too.
I'll be on my way to Tampa, and the next time we talk will be Monday at 6 o'clock. I'll see you at the bank on Sunday, obviously, for the game. Thank you to John Osher and Tim Brando. Hacker Nation is coming up next. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Again, the next time we'll talk will be Monday at 6.